Yeah.
Yeah.
Rohan allowed it? Great. So, Rohan, great meeting you after a while. I mean, the last year has been quite crazy. So I thought I'll just start with checking with you how the year has been for you, and if you've used the opportunity to do something new in the last 12 months.
So I think the last year has been very revealing in terms of you do a lot of soul searching. I got some more clarity on my work forward, and we actually restructured our company. I shifted focus to more transformational coaching for leaders rather than group workshops. And also I think for me, I learned how to create videos and do online sessions, and then I have just bombarded whoever I know with some weekly videos. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've received quite a few of them. So uh, the world beware. Rohan now knows how to create videos.
तो हमने ब्रांडिंग करनी चालू करी फर्स्ट टाइम.
I've ordered my Darth Vader helmet.
अच्छा. जयंत. हाँ. Yeah.
But you've also been, this working on this book. So, what made you write a book, first of all, Rohan?
See, I'll tell you what has been the fundamental course of my journey and what hit me.
Hmm.
So first 27 years has been trying to cover up the middle class inferiority complex by by chasing excellence and success in 3 days style. So I thought I could cover this complex by getting into good colleges like IIT Delhi and IIM Calcutta. And there also I had to sustain my complex by studying hard, making good notes, etc. And so दोनों जगह ऑनर रोल वगैरह में नाम वाम आ गया, लेकिन ये कॉम्प्लेक्स नहीं गया. And so I think even when I joined ICSI, वो सारी कहानी the story went on. And 97 was there a shift came, and I met a mentor. I was rated lowest in my organization where I was thinking of being promoted. So बहुत सारे उथल पुथल होने में, then this guy shifted my focus to that you think of making other people winners rather than racing, comparing, doing arguing with everyone. And he said वो करके देखते को ज़्यादा मजा आए. So 97 onwards was slowly learning, can you rejoice in other people's success? And till I think till 2016, that journey kept on coming, and I was doing a lot of workshops for senior leaders. And 2016 में it hit me hard that ये तुम्हारा 40 years of experience of avoiding conflict, it will still catch up with you. So I have been trying to please everyone around, being a goody two shoes for everyone, good boy for the teachers, for going all to the all classes. अब मुझे लगता है क्या हर क्लास अटेंड करने की जरूरत क्या थी. But that was my program to cover it. And 2016 I decided that I will, instead of avoiding conflicts, I will embrace conflicts and criticism. I have run away from them always. I always had fear of doing mistakes and failures, and I covered them up nicely with different marks, etc. So वहां से I decided to embrace conflict and criticism. Then मैंने थोड़ी studies शुरू करी. I read a book called Hostage at the Table by a FBI negotiator, or Feeling Good Together. So there are some solid books on conflict, and I actually learned few things that one fundamental thing, that when there is a conflict, instead of running away, engage into, lean in, increase bonding, aisa. So then one turning point came. I think another point was in 2005 to 2009. I was a co-partner in a software company, co-founder, and there were two other guys, two other people who were very very assertive, and I was this nice person, and they will come out with strategies which I don't agree, but I won't speak up.
Okay.
So we were these three misaligned leaders, and the company finally failed in the sense, despite being market leader in whatever we were doing, we had to sell it out at practically throwaway price. So I used to believe that these people sabotaged my company because of their aggressiveness. So as I was studying this, I realized that I also played a big role in sabotaging my own firm by not
By
speaking up.
not speaking up.
So one big part was caused me part came from my personal journey. so Ruchi, we got married in 2011. It was a second marriage. It was a love marriage, and I had decided मैं कभी शादी नहीं करूंगा. फिर finally मैंने 2011 में शादी करी. And I would rate my marriage 9 on 10. मतलब हर चीज अच्छे से चल रही थी मेरे हिसाब से. And 2017 में in June I was in Delhi doing a workshop. रात को मैं वापस आ रहा था फ्लाइट से, तो I saw a message which clearly meant that Ruchi was extremely upset. तो मैंने कहा अभी तो बात करने का फायदा नहीं, बोर्डिंग वाले टाइम, तो लेट्स गो होम एंड टॉक. अब जब मैं घर पहुंचा बॉम्बे में, तो घर में ना सब गहरा सन्नाटा था. वाइल हम दो ही लोग रहते हैं, सन्नाटा रहता है, बट यू कैन फील द वाइब्रेशन. एंड शी सेड दैट मैं तो आई वाज जस्ट प्लानिंग टू लीव दिस होम, लीव योर लाइफ एंड नॉट टेक योर कॉल. मेरे फट के हाथ में आ गए जिसको बोलते हैं. सो आई वाज, मतलब जहां हम 9 और 10 सोचते हैं, वहां नेगेटिव मार्किंग किधर से आ गई. तो आई रियली थॉट यार कि
हुआ क्या,
अब क्या करें. हाँ, एक तो हुआ क्या और अब क्या करें. माय नॉर्मल टेंडेंसी इज या तो पानी डालो या चुप रहो. डोंट add any more fuel to fire, because anything which you say can be taken against you.
can be held against you.
कुछ भी और बोला तो आग और भड़केगी. So then what I did was, but तब तक ही मैंने बुक पढ़ ली थी, तो उसने बोला था कि one way of handling a conflict is stay true to your feeling and share them. तो मैंने ना रैंडम सर्च मारी यार, what am I feeling right now, फटी हुई तो है ही. So then I actually zoomed down, and finally I told her that I don't know what I said, what I did, or over few days or months, which made you so upset that you want to leave this connection. But right now I'm feeling very scared of being left alone. And there were tears in my eyes, and she started crying as well. And she said, even I don't want to leave this marriage, and I am also scared of being left alone. And from there, one bridge got made again. And probably she felt कि ये तो बड़ा पॉजिटिव है, इसको तो फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता, मैं चली भी जाऊंगी. तो that's how I've been brought up and trained कि मैं कुछ भी जिंदगी चला लूंगा अपनी. So then I clearly told her that okay, I've been trained to handle anything in my life. So anyone disappears in my life, I'll manage my life. But if I have to choose, I will choose my life with you, because I've stayed alone and I know how it felt. वहां से the clarity came up. And now we have at a point where I actually tell people that I have understood what unconditional love is because of how Ruchi deals with me. I understand how someone having infinite back of yours. And I now wish this and more for people in their relationship.
Right.
So these were the 2 points which together came in, and I started experimenting this model in various workshops. So these 3 together came down to writing a book. So that is a long answer to your short question.
तो इतना कुछ करने के बाद आपको लगा कि किताब लिखी जाए. But how was the experience, Rohan? I mean, how long has it taken you to put this book together, and have there been some highs and lows in the entire experience of writing this book
so
that you'd like to share with us?
One is what happened was, 8-10 साल से जब भी कोई वर्कशॉप अच्छी हो जाती थी, so people will come up and say तुमको तो एक बुक लिखनी चाहिए. So तुम्हारा भी दिमाग चढ़ जाता है कि हाँ एक बुक तो लिखनी चाहिए, लेकिन औकात चाहिए लिखने के लिए. And plus I think it needs a different kind of a discipline. So I tried a lot of things कि every day one hour बैठेंगे लिखेंगे, वो नहीं होता discipline. Then I signed up with some place, and they said तुम खाली बुक लिख दो, हम उसको Amazon bestseller अपने आप बना देंगे. There are packages who are like that. They do some algo work. So मैंने एक वो भी साइन करा, but उससे भी हुआ नहीं. फिर I think I attended a boot camp by a company called Success Gyan, who are also the publisher now, and they gave it a frame, and in that boot camp, as well as followed by whatever their support was, and the whole. So you were promising a timeline, you are running on it. अभी तो COVID से थोड़ा delay हो गया, but I think having someone on your head, on your case, at least was important in my case. It just didn't came out by itself. You really need someone on your head, and someone who's guiding you, how to make it professional. And so they suggested that interview some senior leaders which corroborate the model you are proposing. So I ended up interviewing some around 21 leaders from, mostly from India, on their concept of, so that's, and I think the high low may, one challenge was that any time I was facing a conflict and not able to resolve, मैंने कहा मेरी औकात बुक लिखने की, ये कॉन्फ्लिक्ट तो हैंडल किया नहीं जा रहा. so वो that time I think there was definitely a doubt, and I think, but फिर मैंने कहा नहीं यार करते हैं, मतलब we are, probably then I reconciled to that I am a work in progress and I'll remain work in progress. So conflict in progress में है, ठीक है, जितना आया है it is better than where I was, and वही शेयर कर लेते. And also किसी ने थोड़ी बोला आगे बुक नहीं लग सकते, लिखेंगे अगला वर्जन, सीक्वल लिखेंगे, कुछ भी करेंगे.
Correct. Do you happen to have a copy of the book with you, Ron? Can you provide a sneak preview?
So this,
थोड़ा सा कैमरे के पास लाइए. High conflict by conflict. Nice.
Yeah.
No, so I guess the title of the book is fairly suggestive. But what should a reader expect from this book, Ron?
I think this book is written for two type of people. One is people who were very over nice people like me, and then other people who are very assertive, like my company partners. So, and the whole, what one can expect is the book written with a lot of authenticity and real life stories. Then the framework of that is why conflict happens and how it is more important to resolve the conflict rather than override the person in front or be submissive. I have been the submissive kind in a lot of places, but there are people who override. So how in both cases it is dysfunctional. And once you engage into conflict, you will actually discover the gift of collaboration. So conflict can be pivoted to collaboration if handled properly. And then I have worked out with a framework, step-by-step framework of empathy, authenticity, and respect. So once you follow that framework, you will actually find a better place to handle the conflict and create a bridge between of any communication gap. So one can expect that, and there are 21 interviews where people will hear from senior leaders on what kind of conflict they have handled and what has worked for them. So that matches up with the framework as well.
Ron, does the book also deal with something like why conflicts happen in the first place?
Yeah. So it, in fact, it does, and maybe I can just share a summary of that. Is that
Sure.
all of us have this. There's a brain called amygdala brain, which is a primitive survival brain of ours, and which always take this fight, flight, freeze response. And so this brain is one which always get highest capital allocation in terms of oxygen and blood, because हम लोग जिंदा हैं इसकी वजह से. But this is a neocortex, which is another brain of ours, which actually plans everything, which thinks of a bigger picture and all. But ये वाला instant वो करता है. So what I found is the conflict में हमेशा उस तरह की दो सिचुएशन होती है, एक आई सैड होती है और एक आई मैड होती है. So I mad person and conflict happens typically. I am dealing with the conflict happens where something went wrong. Something went wrong. Some deal was not done. Some expectation was not met, or something was not handled as per the protocol, etc. So how those mistakes are handled will decide whether the conflict or the elephant in the room will stay or not. So someone did a mistake, someone shouted, someone avoided. So that combination creates that elephant in the room, and फिर लोग अपने अपने रास्ते चले जाते हैं, but people remember, and then they deal with the other person that way. So if I found someone who did not deliver what's supposed to, some junior or peer, then I shouted at that person. Then I finally concluded I can't trust anyone, or this one definitely I can't trust. So now I'll be more careful. I will do double check, etc. Or that person say that I was shouted upon when it was not my mistake really. No one heard me, and from now on I will only do tick marks. Do things just to meet expectation, because you can't put your heart at your work. Keep your heart at home. So then people will come to a very suboptimal kind of style of engagement. And so now I'm just talking not about boss and junior, everyone. I have cases where there is a there's a sales head peer who was bullying the risk head. So those connections. There is a client who may bully the service provider. There are bosses who bully the juniors. There are juniors who bully their bosses because of their other connection, their connection with the super boss or other things. So it's what I found is in every combination there is a power equation where people perceive someone is perceived of a little more power. That person gets into the I mad side and other person gets into I sad.
I see.
And basically the amygdala fires. So amygdala fires when there's a threat of death. Now we don't have threat of death कि कोई बाहर निकल के गर्दन काट लेगा, but the threat of death is replaced by threat of being a failure, not being a good leader, being pulled up in the board, or being ridiculed,
humiliated otherwise.
Yeah. So all of that are equated to death by amygdala, and the amygdala takes over and hijacks the neocortex. And for that moment, when either the explosion happened or someone clammed up, and you might have seen that in various board meetings or other meetings. Some people are over aggressive, some people clam up, and sometimes you are the watcher, sometimes you are one of them. Yeah. So that is how a conflict happens, and when it is not resolved, then it creates a regular drain, and everyone knows this is the elephant in the room, the miscommunication, but no one is talking about it.
And in fact, Ron, one of the sort of conflicting ideas that everyone has is that you have to pick your battles, right? You don't go after every issue that comes up. And on the other hand, what you're suggesting in this book is, don't let conflicts simmer. Try and deal with them immediately. How do you strike that balance?
So I think what I found is that we have this model called EAR, empathy, authenticity, respect. So in the respect, we put that filter. So the respect model has these two questions: is why does this relationship matter, and why do you admire this person? So if the answer is solid here, that this relationship matters because he's my son and he's my only son. This relationship matters because she's my wife, or this relationship matters because he's my boss. And if this is not sorted out, it will pinch me every day when I come to office. And so basically, but if it is with some stranger or an acquaintance, then you may want to say that, why do I spend my time there? There are enough other conflicts to handle. So my experience has been also, what I found is, you need not talk about a big conflict to be handled. These are small elephants which get cropped up every day, because every day is full of mistakes. Every day something goes wrong. So how that thing is happened, then it comes into the culture. So even in my personal life, I found every day कोई ना कोई नई कहानी होती. But you can't keep it aside कि अच्छा इसको बात नहीं करेंगे, बाद में लास्ट में एक साथ बात करेंगे की जगह. What I found, every day, whenever you feel there was a miscommunication, sort it there itself and move. So then people start feeling free while dealing with you, that they are getting what they are seeing, rather than any mismatch.
Yeah. And Rohan, you also state somewhere that every conflict is an opportunity. And I found that statement very intriguing and very interesting. Would you like to elaborate on that a little bit?
So I have a tendency to go to my personal life a lot more, but I'll try to keep it balanced in that sense. So one, I want you to imagine that conflict is one big Amazon delivery packet which came to you. And so now what I was normally doing is I would shut the door and hope that person or that courier boy to disappear. Technically, that's what I do whenever there's a chance of conflict. What I'm now saying is open the door, take the packet and unwrap it. So when you open all the bubble wraps, then inside you'll find a precious gift. So similarly, when there's a conflict, when you start discussing with people with authenticity, that I felt this when you said this, what were you feeling? All of that, it leads to a very different level of awareness for both people and a connection. So if there's a team where there is no fight, you can guarantee it very well कि this team की bonding भी कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं है. You know, just everyone being nice cannot get you a great bonding in a team who can handle all challenges. So whether you go back to your college time, and some of your close friends, you might have biggest fights as well. So that is what my experience has been, that so high conflict by conflict का मतलब ये है कि you welcome the conflict, unravel the conflict with that concerned person, and then claim the gift and wave the conflict by. So that is the basic thing.
So no, I mean, this is fine as a sort of theoretical example, but do you want to share a few practical examples, Rohan? Maybe from a corporate sort of situation that you might have encountered.
So yeah, so for example, so one side was, there was a guy who in one of our workshops who came up and said that I fired my chief operating officer because I found he did something wrong or did not take the right quotes from, it was an event management company. And this guy was a founder, and he said I really blasted him publicly and told him that you are a cheat and all that. And he said, now I'm feeling very odd about it, because he was a very senior guy, and they were like on the floor, there were maybe 70-80 people when he shouted at him. And that guy simply left the office and went. And so basically we were working with him that so the EAR part, E is empathy, A is authenticity, and R is respect. So I said, okay, R is respect part, that why is this connection matter to you? So he said, no, he's the guy I've trained for 8 years. He knows a whole lot of stuff. Then what do you admire in him? So he said, okay, he's very good in this, uski eye to detail bahut achhi hai. So all of that correct. And as he was writing all of that, he said, so this R part actually allows you to not maximize the missing tile. What happens is, the moment एक चीज मिस होती है किसी की, you only magnify it and you don't see everything else what that person brought to the table. So he started, anyway, he was feeling very odd that why did I shout it like that. Then we came to the empathy part, means what was that guy doing. So empathy is just getting into other people's shoes, but उसके लिए बड़ा important चीज होता है कि getting out of your own shoes. मेरे 9 नंबर का जूता है, तो अब मैं कुछ और जूता पहनूंगा तो 15 नंबर का लगेगा while wearing my shoes. So we just said कि you park whatever your subjective personal opinion and independently see what that person was really wanting. So that person was in a hurry. There were 5 projects he was handling together, so he didn't take quotations from other vendors and ended up going for a costlier option. But what was his goal, concern, fear, what was he wanting, etc. So once you list all of that, then you realize that this guy didn't want to cheat the company. You'll see it actually. So then you come to the grain of truth. So empathy has another part, grain of truth, which is that there is a role I played in the mess. So even if it is 1%, it is important to share that. So we got him to, what role you played in this guy's failure, and he said, maybe I over depended on him, where maybe I did not tell him that the company is going through a tough time, the costing is very critical, so you make sure that these things are done, and if you have a problem, you tell me. So I didn't pick that he got overloaded and slipped despite having signals. So, and then authenticity, which is A, is sharing your anger or anxiety rather than exploding. So he exploded, versus sharing is actually, you say that you call the person and tell him everything which you want to tell without changing the tone, which is not easy, but without changing the tone is that I am extremely upset, what you did had costed the company 50 lakhs in this event, and I am going to fire you now. And or you decide to resign right now, but in next 15 minutes or something you would have to go, or something like that. Or in this case, obviously it was not that big a mistake, but because of this, I am now going to cut down whatever free hand I have given you, and everything would have to pass through my approval till I get the confidence back or something. So basically, and what we got him to do is we said, okay, you, now that this has happened, you go and address him publicly. So actually he got that person publicly and told him that I am withdrawing the insults what I gave you, because I thought I have no right to do that. While I think I was right in terms of the content, but the way I said, I apologize for that. And then we got him to say all of this, that I trusted you with this much and all that, and I am now worried ki what example am I setting in the company, etc. So they could share, he could share all of that next day, and it basically lowered everyone else's fear. Otherwise, everyone was shaking in their boots ki now you can't take any risk in this company, etc. So that was one sample example. But this can be done in anything. And would you like to share? So Varun has also participated in one of our workshops. So you would like to share whatever is appropriate?
Yeah, absolutely, Ron. So we had this issue, while dealing with one of our colleagues in the US, and we had agreed on a certain format at which with which things will work. And I mean, those people unilaterally changed the format, or at least that's the way we perceived it, and there was some lack of communication, and it was kind of making us very angry, making us feel as if it's not right to continue working with this firm, and we just wanted to sort of vent it out. But then we, just so happened that Rohan was in the office that day, and he was conducting a workshop, and as part of one of the workshop exercises, we actually shared this real live problem that we were dealing with. And I think the way, Rohan, you made us go through this whole concept of EAR made us, first of all, try and empathize with them, try and understand what kind of pressures they might be in and why they might not have communicated. And also kind of, put our response in a more structured and factual manner, as opposed to, having an emotional response to the whole episode. We were kind of a little bit more relaxed as we got into that call, as we were preparing to get into that call. And amazingly, I mean, that call started with those guys apologizing. It was almost, as if there was some connection, some telepathic connection. The fact that we were not going to be aggressive on that call, we were going to be relaxed and structured and more factual as opposed to emotional. The whole call started with an apology for them, and it completely disarmed us. And then instead of a 1 hour long call, we probably had a 15-minute call, and everything was perfectly fine after that. And the structure that we were looking for was reinstated. So something wonderful about it is just that not only does it give you better tools, but also probably somehow it influences the other side, and things tend to get resolved. I don't know, Rohan, if you have any sense of that also. Is there something that happens subliminally when you do this?
At least personally, I believe that once the conflict is cleared in your head, then somewhere it gets communicated to whoever else is needed to, and they what it does is they also see it from a higher plane. I think one big part of this EAR thing is that you start taking a drone view. You go a little above than you look at all the stakeholders and think about them and yourself, but not do it like a donut where it's a hole in the center, you are ignoring yourself. So you look at all the stakeholders. So what I think is, in any conflict, if one person shifts above at a drone view, the second person gets pulled above. And probably that's what happened in your case. I was very delighted, because by the evening you sent this email that how it got turned around. So for me, I think seeing it turning around is something most delightful. And
I believe Sayan has a question. He's put a hand up.
Sayan, you want to say something? Unmute. Huh?
Yeah. So, Rohan, I think I just wanted to share something with you, because of this conflict is a daily routine in corporate world, right? So, one thing I have learned, and I think it has worked very well in my case, and it actually came out of a leadership program that we sort of attended. I shared with this coach who was a British coach that, look, my problem is, if I have a boss who I like, I can do a lot for him or her. But the problem happens when I don't like the boss. Then I can't be a lackey, and it becomes negative. So it goes to sort of race to the bottom. So he gave me a golden advice, and this is a British coach in his 60s, talking to me on a phone from London. So this advice I'll never forget, and I've implemented that and I've expanded that as well. This advice was to treat your boss as a client. And believe me, I have expanded this in many fields, not only boss, even in a conflict situation, to family. I'll just tell you what it actually means and how you expand that. And I would invite comments from you and Varun and others also. So basically, what it means is when you are in a client's office, there's a conflict. The client tells you something which is, say, utter rubbish, and you know he's wrong and stuff like that. You don't react to the client saying that, Baga, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're expanding, your current business is suffering, you have no idea what is going to happen to you. You basically agree to most of the things he said. You try to sort of argue logically without raising your voice. Exactly the point you mentioned, right? I mean, that don't raise your voice and make the same point. And, most of the time, if you notice, the problem happens because we react immediately. We tend to react at the spur of the moment and we screw it up, whether it's a mail or a day-to-day conversation. But you just imagine a situation, the guy comes to you thinking that you would basically not agree and there would be a conflict. He's trying to egg you on, and all that you say is, yes, I think it's a good idea. Let's talk about it tomorrow. This has worked a number of times with me, whether it is bosses, with peers, with colleagues, with the family members, with daughters, sons, wherever. I would really love to hear what Varun thinks about this, because, this treating people as a client, if you, understand the spirit of it, has often helped me in conflict situations. Varun, I would like to hear from you as well.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
go ahead, Ron, if you want to say something.
I think one thing before, from my side, what I've understood is in this model, empathy, which is truly understanding what the client is trying to say. So client or someone you're treating like client. So there you already did that. Okay, this is what he's saying and I'm not reacting. I will respond later. Second, there is some respect you have already given that, client, because of client, your business is there in some sense. So you have also brought in the respect there. What is important, I found, is also sharing authentically what is going on without raising the voice or without changing the tone. And I'll give you one example as an answer is that, so we went to a client's place on an appointment and they made us wait for more than an hour. And after that, the main guy with whom the appointment was didn't show up and someone else came. So I really got upset and I मीटिंग करके मैं आ गया, but then I came back, यार आज तो बिल्कुल मैंने डोरमैट वाला काम किया. I behaved like a doormat rather than a priceless contributor, so to say. And then I was wondering, how do I make this incoherence coherent? Then I called the guy who had organized a meeting, who was another CXO in the firm, and this was a 5,000 crore company. So I said, yaar, ki it is quite difficult to deal with your company, and would you do this with your मतलब has this happened with you as well, that तुम एक क्लाइंट के गए हो और वो घंटे भर से आपको वेट करा रहा है, तो आप छोड़ के आ जाओगे कि झगड़ा करके आओगे कि क्या करोगे? So I explained to him that I felt very let down कि भाई बता देते पहले से. तो मैं मतलब how would I really work with this firm, and I know you are a big firm and we want this assignment, but ऐसी डीलिंग होगी आगे भी. So actually he apologized on his behalf. We actually finally also got the deal despite having shared it in this way. So what I found is, even if you treat someone as a client, so E part I agree with Sayan, R part I agree with Sayan. I'm saying you add A, which is the authentic sharing, is that this is what I'm feeling right now. And you would have, because client wale time हम mostly चुप होके आ जाते. So
no, so I am suggesting that you that next part, A part, you do when you have cooled down.
हाँ, वो इम्पोर्टेंट है, वो ए वाला पार्ट कूल डाउन के टाइम ही इम्पोर्टेंट है, एंड शेयरिंग rather than the tone, that I also totally agree. So Varun, you want to add something?
No, absolutely. I think I had an exact similar experience. I used to work in PwC in Delhi, and I was a very emotional a young man. I was a typical Delhi wala, very aggressive and all of those things. And I suddenly found that I was not being effective at all. I was picking fights with a lot of people because I used to react immediately. And then a very similar experience, a UK-based coach gave me some advice, took me to the side and said, boss, if you do this, you are not only hurting the company, you're hurting yourself, and you have to change. And it hurt, in fact, when he gave this advice, I thought I was doing the right thing. In fact, he said that, Varun, what you say is actually right, but the tone that you use to convey yourself is making things difficult for you. And his advice is exactly the same again, Rohan, as you were mentioning, just control your amygdala response and let the neocortex sort of handle it, and take a deep breath. Don't reply immediately to an email. Don't react to a situation. Try and respond to situations, and that has worked wonderfully well over the next 15 years. But let's quickly jump to a couple of other people who've raised their hands. Jayantoda, you'd like to say something?
Okay, I think there were two incidents which I can recall in my time where I found that the person with whom you want to resolve the conflict is not communicating or is not open at all. Right now, that I found very difficult to understand. I remember I spent all my time in corporate life was in advertising, so everybody was a client, right? But even my colleagues were treated as clients, because the concept of an internal client is something that we had all tried to kind of understand and imbibe. But there were two incidents. One particularly so where my colleague just did not want to resolve the conflict, and this is about 20 years ago. So the natural thing happened when he exited. It was a loss, but he exited, so thereby the problem was kind of removed. But I somehow felt that I still believe now that it was possibly a suboptimal solution. So how should one handle this kind of a situation?
So my experience has been is when someone shuts you down, then that person is really holding it very strongly, in the sense, and sometimes this person is very close to you in terms of either business or at person, and they have somehow reconciled to this idea कि अब ना तो और बोलने से कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा. If I speak more, the other person will speak more, and the volume will keep going up, and it will turn into a war. So they in a way have reconciled to not speaking. And so let me flip it to a personal example, because personal example I can tell you very easily that. So for example, between me and Ruchi, if there is an argument, and so Ruchi is the assertive aggressive kind of a person, and I am still more the nice one. So she would go totally silent, and I would then wonder, यार अभी क्या बोले, कुछ कहें कि नहीं कहें. And then she would, then once when it was over, I used to ask her कि भाई तू बोलती भी नहीं है, and if I don't say anything you will say you don't care, and if I say anything you won't reply, तो ये तो बिल्कुल design for fail हो गया. So since it was a marriage and you want it to work, and she finally came up with, no, I'm silent because I'm processing it inside, because if I say anything right now it cannot be backtracked and it may explode in different ways. And then we worked out something ki if you still want to communicate, you send me a WhatsApp. So some elephants हमने WhatsApp से निकाले, because I could actually express on that same time while talking was not possible. But in your case, it may be, I have also had cases where very commonly I've heard from my friends that their teenager daughter and son are not listening to them and banging doors on them during COVID. So even those kind of things can be resolved with this EAR. And my belief is, Jayanta, that if you, even for that person, if you fill this step-by-step sheet, you will get some clarity on that. What is this person coming from? What am I feeling? And for example, I've noticed in a lot of places we don't share our true feeling. So what I have learned is from various experts, that in any relationship, if it is not working, it is better for you to take 100% ownership of the transformation and not depend on the other person कि उसने थोड़ी ये EAR का मॉडल देखा है, उसने थोड़ी ये वर्कशॉप करी है. But so the moment you say, if that person could change, my connection would change, I think that just doesn't work. So first is you take 100% ownership that I'm going to give my best. Now uncontrollable is how that person will respond. I have no control. But my best is I'll give my best in terms of uncovering everything, all information asymmetry in a respectful way, without diluting my values, without taking a soft stance. So I found that a firm stance is more important than a soft stance. And people pleasing is not important at all. Growing people is more important. So that is the sharing right now. Hopefully, we had Praveen raising hand, but
Yes,
Praveen,
yes.
no.
Praveen had also raised a hand. Praveen?
Hey Rohan, I have very bad bandwidth, so I'm not switching on my video. Rohan, see, there is can you hear me? If my bandwidth is poor, then I will type the message in the chat.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Great. See, the whole problem is the fundamental presumption that we have is there are certain rules that we have to abide by in the conflict. What we don't realize is it's we who have created the rules. Why don't we just change the rules in the conflict and accept the conflict with a different perspective? Now, giving you a simple example, I was traveling once and I really wanted to sack my divisional manager. I was really terribly upset with him. And kind of my product manager told me, boss, just hold on. I'm going to have a word with him. And she came back to me after about an hour. In the hour, I processed the information once again. And I said that he hasn't been ethically wrong. There has been no integrity issue. He's just fucked up. So what? Yeah? We all fuck up in life. Sorry, he's just muffed up. We all muff up in life. There is no reason for me to take such a harsh step. So why don't we just change the rules? The rules are not always sacrosanct. And when we realize that if we define our rules as ethics, integrity, or whatever your core parameters are, and be willing to compromise around the others, I think a whole lot of conflict situations can be taken care of.
Hey. Yeah, so I think one is stepping back and seeing a bigger picture, and deciding what is your priority. Is my sense is, I think another reason for conflict is there is some inner conflict in us, or another reason is that we are too stuck with what our truth is. So basically we are too stuck with our truth, and sometimes letting go of that and listening to other people's truth. And what is important to remember is empathy is not endorsement. That I listen to you, I understand all of that, this is what you said, this is what you felt, this is what you want. Even just doing that honestly can keep the conflict at a different depth. So back to you, Varun.
Absolutely, Ron. I think that's wonderful. I think we're coming close to the end of the hour. Are there any other questions from the audience?
Yeah, if I may just go for this, Alan, what do you do if somebody just doesn't want to resolve the conflict?
So my sense is that,
and it's an important relationship. Either it's a spouse or it is a boss.
These are so. I think वही दो जगह होता है where the other person shuts you out practically. And if it was not an important relationship, तो भाड़ में जाओ, मुझे क्या करना है? I will go on with my life. But you have to see this person again and again and deal with that person. And there are only two strategies. One, या तो आप वो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट को छोड़ दो, बात ही मत करो, डू द ट्रांजैक्शनल वर्क, आज खाने में क्या बनाना है, you know, all transactional work, but then relationship comes to the lowest common multiple, because you will just, and I've seen in very my close relations, I've seen people doing this, that you know, these are very sensitive things, let's not talk about it. And so my experience has been, while I've been one person who's avoided the conflict all my life, is last 3 years when I started taking things head on. So either the person on the other side, in whatever Nalin is asking, either the other side, the person is very sensitive and doesn't want to speak because has been hurt, or the other person is very assertive, aggressive, and have given up on that, because whenever we talk, the volume keeps going up. So there can be both kind of people can shut you out. And I think one, so earlier I used to just what do you call, walk on eggshells around and hope and please, and I found that extremely irritates the other person. So if the person is a very direct person, then authentically sharing that with the person on why relationship matters and why you want to discuss it, and sharing your feeling is very important. And I'll give you one example. When I was working with this couple whose teenager son had stopped talking to them, and so in fact I had 3 such examples. One girl stopped talking to her mom, one girl stopped talking to her parents, and one boy. So all of these are 19-20 year olds, and they simply say हमें बात ही नहीं करनी, तुम कोई भी वर्कशॉप अटेंड करे हो, हमें क्या करना, you know, all this EAR model we don't want. So in one case we got this lady who filled this sheet very well. You could see that there was some transformation in her, because she realized his daughter will go 4 months later, she'll go to Australia, and she had, these are the only 4 months she'll have, बाद में उसकी शादी हो जाएगी तो वैसे ही नहीं मिलेगी. So then we got her to write a mail. So she wrote a letter, and मैंने कहा तेरी daughter नहीं सुन रही, कभी ना कभी mail तो पढ़ेगी at one point of time, and she's not upset. And now, you know, 2 months, 3 months later, this lady called up and said, my daughter says that you are my rock. So that has been one. Another case in where this was a very successful couple, where, you know, the son is not talking to them, and when they were filling this EAR, they realized that he is feeling over pressured by the expectation, unsaid expectation the successful parents have, कि इसका तो यहाँ हो जाएगा, वहाँ हो जाएगा, और ये सेटल होना चाहिए लाइफ में, कहीं फोकस करना चाहिए. And he was so stressed out of that. And इनका authenticity वाली side was when they shared that I said, you, in fact they came up that they told their son that I am extremely worried about you, and I am more worried that have I been a very bad father, that I became the CEO of my firm, but in that bargain I didn't spend time on you, and we have come to the point where you don't want to speak to us. So I'm also worried that if I disappear from this earth, if you continue like this, whether you will be able to manage your life or not, because I don't see it going that side. So therefore I have only one way of doing correction based on what my generation taught me. So what, maybe I have not still answered Nalin's exact question, but what I found is your intention to solve, and also changing the way. For example, I was always soft and it was upsetting Ruchi, that, you know, or it was giving some other you know, whatever impression to her that it doesn't matter to me. So communicating very clearly that this matters to me, this relationship matters to me, and I'm going to find a solution. Can you help me? Because when you are not talking, actually I am stuck. So can you help me? What will work? And somewhere, you know, whenever things are probably a little better, not heated up, that time you can find, but basically do not give up if the relationship is important. And I've noticed job you can't give up easily, and similarly spouse you can't give up easily. So not giving up is important. Staying in conversation and finding some questions which are non-judgmental, non-labeling, and non-intrusive. And वो हॉस्टेज सिचुएशन जैसा होता है ना, कि सामने वाला खुद पे गन लगा के बैठा है या किसी और पे. So there are guys who handle hostage without a gun. So, and also Another thing which I would want to say to Nalin is that what I have now learned is any such conflict is there for you. So मेरे को ये किसी ने बड़ा सिखाया था कि कोई ना कोई आपने लेसन लिखा है जो इस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट के रूप में आया है. This is a big chapter which has come to you and avoiding it will magnify it and अगला वाला chapter उससे ज़्यादा difficult आएगा if you run away from this. So that is what I found that the conflict, and so I was wishing कि conflict गायब हो जाए versus कि this conflict has been specially tailor made for you, for the kind of person you are, for what you have been avoiding in your life to face it. So that is what my thought is. Yeah. So Varun, and I think Jayanta is raising his hand.
Jayanta is raising his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jayanta.
I just wanted to add that, when Nalin is saying, it's not always a matter of, power equation, you versus boss and you versus wife. Wife, in any case, the supreme boss. The Supreme Court has also said so. So we've got big brother behind my back. But in this particular instance I quoted to you was when I was head of office, Bombay and Calcutta, in Rediffusion, and the conflict was with the creative director. So he was, in terms of power equation, his function was possibly more critical than that of a head of office in an ad agency. But in terms of hierarchy, I was superior to him. So now that situation, you can't do, ad agencies can't work with without creative people. So there was no, in that sense, there was no kind of a power saying that, and I was superior to him, he was superior to me, whatever. But the relationship had to work, unfortunately, because of what I told you earlier, because I didn't have the skills. It didn't work. He left. So my guess is that, and this is just a hypothesis, Rohan, for your, if you wish to react, is that at some point in time you got to probably end up saying that, listen, I'm not being able to make it work. So either I get somebody else to come in, or if it means goodbye, it means goodbye.
Yeah. In fact, what is important is actually sharing this, sharing your frustration, and sharing it honestly, sharing it respectfully. The only thing is, usme, if you don't put the tone of, so if you have more power, we end up making it harsh.
Yeah.
If we have less power, we end up making it sissy. So the whole idea is that this is not working out. It is costing me. Even if when the other person has more power, stating is honestly that last 5 days I'm still very worried on how you dealt with me, and this is demoralizing me, and I don't like it happening because either I will lose my interest here and look for another job, and that would be a miss for everyone. I would waste my money as well as you would have wasted your time on me, and there is a lesson to be learned here for me, and I'm willing to face that lesson. So as a junior also, I have realized is that in fact, if you notice any junior comes to you in pleasing tone, you will get very upset. That काम की बात करना सामने से direct, फोकट में चाट क्यों रहा है? So same way, चाटने के में भी problem है और harshness में भी problem है. So what we are wanting is daring to be authentic. That you authentically come and say, if I did a mistake, you blew up something, you go to all the stakeholders, write up.
Okay, that guy and I, we became pretty close friends sometime later, but I'll tell you how we did it. He had left the agency, etc. We found somebody else to blame, and we drank to that. So that was happiness. That's more a joke than anything else. But,
So find somebody else a few miles away and blame everything on them.
I know. If you find that guy in New York or in Bombay, even better.
Exactly. So Rohan, that should be another chapter in the book. But really, I think this conversation has really whetted my appetite, and I'm really looking forward to reading this book. Rohan, when does this become available, and can we pre-order it or something?
Yeah. So you can pre-order. Let me just get I have not kept the link ready. Just hold on. Let me give you a. So you can actually pre-order it, and I think in next week itself, the book would be launched on 23rd April. But people who pre-order will get a discount as well as they'll get the book earlier. So by the
Okay.
time Amazon launches there, I would have a whole lot of people already read the book. So I'm going to ask each one of them to please Amazonian gods and write some review on that day. So just give me a second. Let me take the, I think, dare to be authentic. One more minute to pre-order. So I'll post the link here, or maybe.
Okay, you're putting it in the chat window.
I put it in the chat window, and plus with this there's a video pack which comes complimentary, which is itself is worth 990 rupees. Video pack on power of intention. So it's a 12-hour video series which I did 28 videos. So that comes with it. Yeah.
Awesome.
So anything
Great,
else?
Rohan. Great, wonderful chatting with you, and thanks for all the insights you have shared. And thanks to everyone in the audience. I think your contribution to this conversation was also invaluable. We had a very, very wonderful conversation, and I'm just looking forward to reading the book now. And all the best for the launch, Rohan.
Yes, thank you. And I would want to share from the point of that the freedom I have experienced, I can talk about myself, the freedom I've experienced having engaged into a conflict this way has been really worthwhile. कि अभी ना तो mistake करने में tension रहता है, ना confront करने में, अभी भी कुछ some working progress is going, but ये है कि if something happens, I'll go and face it. That itself has brought in a different level of courage, and I would like people to experience that and more. So thank you very much, and thank you, Jayanta, for organizing it.
Really, thanks very much, Rohan. Thank you, Varun. This was brilliant. In fact, this is the first time we've done something like this,
Yes.
and it's given me the courage to actually, ask other people to come in and do something similar. For all of us, for everybody in the alumni group. This is terrific. Thanks a lot, Rohan. All the very best, matey.
Yes.
I'm actually going and placing the order right now.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
Then we'll catch you some point in time to say, okay, you signed the damn thing.
So thank you very much. Thank you everyone for being on this session, and thank you, Varun, for agreeing to anchor it. This was my also first experience to get interviewed like this.
Pleasure, Rohan. Wonderful.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks,
then.
everyone.
Bye. Ending.
Bye, guys. Bye.